Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're having fun playing some Magic, and this deck is all about fun. I love trying to make the combos that are a little bit out there, like a combo that's around a 6 mana card is just really hard to do in this format. But I like to try to have the fun combos come to life in a deck that is at least possible, makes things where it's like, okay, I know I'm not playing the top tier, like I'm being competitive, but I want to do the fun thing in Magic, and that is for me what Magic is all about. And so I hope you guys enjoy as I'm bringing this to you, knowing ahead of time that this is, I think, a pretty solid deck for what I'm trying to do here, but it maybe isn't as the most competitive. But we have multiple one-turn kill combos in this deck, and it is mostly based around this card right here: Calamity, Galloping, Inferno, 6 mana, 4/6 with haste. Whenever it sorry, first off, it has saddle one, which is really important. We can saddle up something for with 1 power. Whenever it attacks while saddled, choose a non-legendary creature that's saddled at this turn and create a tapped and attacking token that is a copy of it. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step, and you repeat this process once. And so we get to make 2 copies of whatever thing saddled this. So if we have a Terror of the Peaks out in the battlefield, which says whenever another creature enters the battlefield under our control, it deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. Then, so we have this on the battlefield on turn 5, we play out Calamity on turn 6, or hopefully earlier because we're making treasures. We have Irencrag and we have like other ways to make treasures and kind of ramp up, filter for our stuff. Then, when this attacks in, it'll make 2 copies of Terror of the Peaks. The first one enters the battlefield. We get 5 damage to throw anywhere we want to, but hopefully at the opponent's face. 5 damage there. And then the second one enters the battlefield. And I think it actually works out to where they both enter at the same time because of the way that this works out. So it's not like it's in sync. And so we actually end up getting about 20 points of damage just from the 2 creatures entering the battlefield. We get, the one that's on the battlefield already will trigger twice, and then each one of them will trigger once for the other one entering the battlefield at the same time as itself. And so we get 20 points of damage straight off, hitting them in the face. If they have more than 5 life, we also have a 4/6 swinging at them and the 2 5/4 flyers swinging at them as well. So we basically have like a 34 damage combo with 1 Terror of the Peaks on the battlefield and a Calamity hitting in on the next turn. Hard part with that is we have to draw into the pieces. We have to keep them all alive as we're swinging in. Like technically, the first Terror of the Peaks could die and it would still go off, but we have to try to get to where we're at a place that can happen. Same thing happens with Bloodletter of Aclazotz. I know that Bloodletter of Aclazotz works well with Rush of Dread, which is why we put 1 copy of this in here as well. I didn't want this to be the main combo piece for this deck. It probably would work well to have more copies of this and like with big score and just trying to like rush out the combos as any way we could, but it got a little bit too greedy in my mind. We needed to make sure we have the early game ways to survive. But if we have Calamity copy Bloodletter of Aclazotz, when the other 2 enter the battlefield, they come in tapped and attacking. If we hit for the 4 that are flying, I'm assuming that Calamity will probably end up getting blocked, but there's not a ton, like the flyers get through pretty well in the format right now. Even though lots of people are playing flyers, it still does seem to work okay. The flyers that get in if we get 4 damage in, it'll get doubled 3 times because we'll have 3 of these on the battlefield. So the first double will get it up to 8 damage. The next double will get it up to 16 damage, and then up to 32 damage. If we only get it for 2, that's where we struggle a little bit. It'll only be 16 damage, but hopefully we can find other ways to get through for damage with the end. That's where we have like Urabrask Forge, which can just kind of get some consistent damage. It works really well. Terror of the Peaks works really well for just kind of slowing the game down against more of the like certain decks. I would love to have more copies of this, but it's just one of those plays that you get it when you want it, and then it's great. Irencrag to help us ramp up a little bit in the early game, especially if we don't want to play out Scoundrel on turn 2 against some decks, because we're going to go for the Brotherhood's End, hopefully. Charming Scoundrel, because it gives us a treasure token, it helps us draw for a Brotherhood's End or for combo pieces, and also, I mean, technically we could, with Calamity, we have to have non-legendary creatures, so it's actually pretty difficult to find good non-legendary creatures in the format between these colors. There's so many legendary creatures that you typically slot in, and I had a little bit of hard time finding the right pieces, but I think Preacher of the Schism as a good creature that's 2/4 death touch, good defender, gives us a board with the vampires or card draw. Also doesn't die to Brotherhood's End, which is really important. I couldn't go for like the Deep Cavern Bats, even though they could like combo with it a little bit, which could be fun. They die at the end, so it doesn't matter. But Brotherhood's End would kill them. We kind of have to have Brotherhood's End. I couldn't go for the one that deals 5 damage. tear down the house, I think is what it's called, because of course that would kill off our Terror of the Peaks and everything else. And so Brotherhood's End is our main kind of sweeper piece to help us out. We have the big score to discard, draw 2 cards, create 2 treasures to help us ramp up to our bigger pieces, be able to play them more consistently with the different colors. We have a very, like, honestly nowadays with the amount of dual lands we have in the format right now, we're in a pretty good spot with mana base as well. And so I'm not worried about hitting the 3 black mana for Bloodletter and also the 2 red for these. Honestly, I'm not terribly worried. I'm sure it will come up where we have a problem. We draw into these couple mountains and swamps we have extras of. But between that, between the treasures, between everything else, I'm actually excited for this deck. I haven't tested this one at all, so we're going to dive into the gameplay, see how it does for us, see if the combo that's in my brain works in paper, and it'll all come down to whether or not we can draw the right pieces at the right time, of course. But I think it can happen. Let's dive into it. Let's see how it goes. Wish me luck. All right, we're going first, and kind of an interesting hand, but I like it at the same time. We have ramp, we have forge, we have the Calamity. The biggest thing we don't have is interaction, but we're hoping we can draw into that. We at least have the ability to kind of start off strong against certain decks. So let's get out of the Restless Vents, pass the turn. If it's control, then I think we have a good setup. If it's mono red, we're in trouble. We are going to top deck a Brotherhood's End, and it'll be just fine. I have no worries whatsoever. I could use a Sokenzan to at least create some blockers here, and that might be our best hope against this deck now. Yeah, gets out the slicks. They're playing that out quick. All right, big score is definitely what we go for then. We're gonna, yeah, pass the turn. I'm hoping that they will. We'll have the Sokenzan to kind of like bait out, but we're gonna go for big score here. And I think we dropped the forge. I don't think forge is good in this matchup. It can be if I get Terror of the Peaks out, and then we can like snipe down a creature every turn. Like that's when it can be good to kind of slow everything down a bit. I'm gonna pretend like I have something, but really we're just digging for the Brotherhood's End as fast as possible. It's not like they're gonna do anything else though. They're just gonna be swinging in, right? They're like trying to see if I had anything. I ain't got nothing. I could try to go for the removal there on that turn, but let's get rid of the forge. Terror of the Peaks. See, this is where Terror of the Peaks actually would have been pretty cool. Okay, so here's the question. Can I keep my creature alive? I think what I do is I play out Calamity. Because it has 6 toughness, I think that they will slow down a little bit. I'm hoping. And then I can slam Terror of the Peaks and get it saddled right away. And I'm hoping that that's enough. The 4 toughness, there's too many things that they're bringing in nowadays to kill something with 4 toughness. So I think it's Calamity. I could take action here. How much is it to equip? I haven't played this enough. I think we're taking action. I have like a handful of lands, right? So, all right. No attacks. We're playing defense. Does not have vigilance. And I'm just hoping that they don't go as crazy with their attack here. That's really all I'm hoping for. I don't want my guy to die. All right, they're just flooding the board. They go in with their flyers. They go in with everything. Wow. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty insane one. If they have 1 spell, I don't think we're dead. It's actually really close. And so we could get the combo kill here. Is that dead? That's lethal. Okay. It's ridiculous. My goodness. I think we had about the fastest start we could have, and the only thing that would have been better is Brotherhood's End, which would have helped a ton. I'm not sure if it would have won it for us, though. Man. Alrighty. I like this hand. Interaction removal, some ramp with a Scoundrel or card draw. I think I like the idea of ramping with it to try to get to big sword a little bit quicker, to try to make sure we get our pieces or other such things. Haunted Ridge out past the turn. I'm liking how this deck is running right now. I feel like we have the right amount of early game stuff, but we keep going up against this deck. So do I dig for... I could go save up to go for the Throat. I think what we do is you go for Charming Scoundrel and we still play out the Treasure. And then we can have double go for the Throat next turn. No attacks past turn. We chump block. I think whatever. Well, not that. Try to slow the game down any way we can. Aclazotz is an interesting one. Getting out a 2/4 isn't terrible. It blocks the chick. But I think we do hold a big score, I think. Yeah? Finding the Brotherhood's end could be a big deal. Holding up the go for the throat. And so I think we pass the turn. Trying to figure out how to pilot this deck against mono red. Mono red is a hard one. Especially because now there's multiple versions. I don't like that. It does a lot of damage. Do I need to go for big score here? So I can block here. I take 4 down to 13. I could kill this and slow the game down a little bit and block the etching, or just take the 4 there as well. Could also go for big score, make sure I actually hit my land drops next turn. I don't know how much that... I think I need to slow it down a little bit here. I have the other Charming Scoundrel as well to kind of draw for land if I want to as well. So I think we just chump. We just try to slow it down enough here. Pass to my turn. Not going to use my treasure at the moment. Surveil land is interesting. Brothers it in. Okay, so now do I play the Charming Scoundrel to get another treasure? And just a chump here? Again, I can still go for the throat and still like have the Brothers hit end. I think that's what we do. I could also go for... Okay, so this is red sources that that you control, right? You control. Okay, so mine wouldn't do anything. That much damage +1 instead. So it's actually only 3. I don't know why I was thinking it was double, +2 instead. Let's just get out the Charming Scoundrel. We're just blocking. I could put the Wicked Roll on it to kind of trade off as well if I wanted to. Force him to put some removal there. Honestly, I'm not looking for a card draw. I'm not looking for the treasure right now. So let's do that. That way we can trade off if we need to. Pass turn. I'm fine if they want to go for anything else here. Of course, I had the board wipe. Alright, so that does some damage there. I think we take it and board wipe, and then hold up the go for throat later. So we're taking 6 down to 9. And this is annoying. Any burn off the top is really annoying. Yeah, I think we still just keep it slow here. We have Brotherhood's End. Ah, man. Resolve that. Now what is this? I can kill this and then Aclazotz. Have a blocker for here. We just need to survive, right? Can I turn the corner, taking in 4 damage here? Huh. I think that we're going to let it go. Let it go down to 5, man. That doesn't feel right. But I do think that Brotherhood's End here. Keep our artifact around. Kill them. Hold up, go for the throat for the next creature. I'm hoping they just don't have creatures. Lightning Strike, double shock kills us here. All right, we're getting closer to the combo. We do have to hold on to a spell for this. I'm going to go ahead and get this out. I can still go for the throat. We're kind of hoping for top deck. Here's the issue with big scores. I need to have stuff to discard. And I did want to discard the Aclazotz. I didn't want to discard the go for a throat. And so, Lightning Strike to the face down to 1. Pass the turn. All right. Can we combo next turn? I will discard kind of whatever it is to make sure we get a chance to. Slick Shot, show off. Losing the treasure is a little bit annoying, but yeah, we killed that. Takenuma is interesting too, actually. We want to be able to hit our land drops, so we're going to go ahead and do this now. Ugh. An extra Brotherhood's End. If I give the wicked thing to this, I could start swinging in. Get them down to... Oh, man. We don't have many turns, so if I hit for 3, or 4 even... Can't hold up Brotherhood's End, so we're going to play this. Question is, do I draw here, or do I add a little bit extra damage? I think I'm going for draw. All right, there we go. So we have it next turn. And so we swing in here. Pass the turn. Do they top deck what they need? I believe we get it. Calamity. Please don't have a shock here. No. All right, so saddle up Aclazotz. Come on. Don't you dare. Swing in. We get 2 extra Aclazotz on the battlefield. And negative 55. Yes! Yes! Oh my goodness. I did not think we were going to make it through that one. Suck it, mono red. Yes. All right, decent hand. Not amazing, but we have some ramp. We have some, you know, battlefield presence, and of course, removal, and our main combo piece. I don't think I could ask for a better hand. And it just got better. If it's Boros, then I wish these were other things. We will get the Irencrag out. Pass the turn. I would hate to be holding on to that if they do like end up top decking a Thalia or something here. Catilda. Okay. Catilda's interesting. Do I go for the throat that and hold up another go for the throat? I don't really need this on the battlefield just yet. So I think we do. We pass the turn. Preacher the Schism with Calamity is a little bit interesting. Like, we don't have the main combo pieces, but it's still a powerful effect. We'll take one. Get them some life. I'm fine with that. Getting this into the graveyard is a little bit interesting. I get to play Preacher and hold up mana next turn. But I think I would rather it be for another creature. So let's go ahead and get this off the battlefield. Now I can play a tap land, which lets us play Calamity next turn. I'm down with that. Calamity into copying Preacher. I won't get the effect of going to attacks, which is a little bit annoying. I don't know what opponent was doing. I think they just missed their land drops and kind of had a weird setup. I liked where our deck was going. Again, this is the main reason these creatures aren't legendary, is that I have the ability to find the Calamity and at least make a couple copies. And I mean, 4 extra damage swinging in with Death Touch, not bad. Like, I'm not going to say no to it. It would be great if it was like a when it deals damage stuff, which there are a few red cards that would probably do well with that. There are some, maybe, I'm not sure if the black cards are that do that. Let me know in the comments what the other creatures are that I should be slotting in here. But I like what I have so far. All right, we are on the play. We go first. We'll keep this. Here is the one main issue of this deck. And it's not that I have Scoundrels and Brotherhood's End. It's actually that I have Terror of the Peaks without a bunch of things that actually deal tons of damage. All right, so we're going to go ahead and discard. Actually, do I just make the treasure token, or do I try to find the land? That is a little bit of an interesting option. I can get the Preacher the Schism out into the battlefield. And I think it is discard, because I don't want the extra Scoundrel right now. Yeah, land is much better. Swing in. Pass the turn. Up against blue-white. Going aggro could have been a good play here as well. Probably is what I should have done, honestly. This is untapped. Swing in. I'm expecting this Preacher to get countered, but I just slam things. Another main reason I wanted Preacher the Schism versus any other 2-drop, it doesn't get hit by temporary lockdown. And that is good. So this is going to be able to get me some card draw. this turn if it hits when it attacks. So yeah, attacks, got the attack, draw the card. Ooh, okay, we need to start finding our land drops though. I don't think I play out the other Preacher. I don't want to play into a board wipe too heavily, but getting 2 cards to draw next turn would be sweet. Getting a counterspell out of the deck would be sweet. So I think that we go for it here. Yeah, if I get a counterspell so I can slam my combo pieces, worth it. They just draw cards. Yeah, I mean, we're not pressuring life total quite enough yet. Bloodletter would be kind of an okay draw if it's not a land here. Being able to turn this into 10 damage a turn would be really big. Let's see, are they playing the Sphinx version or what are they doing here? Okay, so we have Tear the Peaks online. Let's draw and hopefully find the land. I'm hoping we have to time this right. I like Calamity because it's so fast. And we might slam Calamity before we slam anything else. I'm okay with that. They gain enough life that we got the vampires instead.
I'm home.
Man, do they have the board wipe next turn? If they have land and board wipe, it's annoying. Yeah, we'll let that go. Down to 21. We didn't get the card draw. I forgot about that. They get enough life. We don't go for terror here. If they board wipe, then we can at least get the Planeswalker at the Brotherhood's end as well. Maybe their token. And so I can maybe set up for a turn where they tap out again. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. We also, if we hit land, we have Calamity. Which, okay, they have the Sunfall now. Okay. So I get to Brother's End, which kills, is it choose one? I don't get to do both. That's a little bit bummer. Do I slam Tear the Peaks now?
Remember your training.
If they have removal, which I mean, come on, how would they not have removal? So Brotherhood's End at least kills the Wandering Emperor. Slows the game down a bit. I get to stick Tear the Peaks and see if they have removal, but if they have, you know, Get Lost, if they have basically any of their spells, they could even flash in the Sphinx, which I'm hoping that's what they would try to do instead. Thinking... This feels a little bit reactive to do it right now, and I feel like next turn it does basically the same thing. And so let's go ahead and get this out. Go for Throw is a little bit awkward with this incubator. The Brotherhood's End does get those, but I can only choose one, and so I can either get the Emperor or I can get the token. And so let's see what they've got going here. I'm just kind of going for the combo. I'm hoping for land off the top so I can Calamity and get in for the damage. I doubt that's going to work, though. They do have a 4/4. They have the Restless Anchorage. I'm kind of just hoping that they get greedy and like, you know what? I don't need to do anything just yet. I have removal when I need it. And they don't know that Calamity triggers as it attacks. And just hopefully they don't read cards. But honestly, I think this is the worst matchup for us. We don't have any ways to disrupt their hand. We can't really go for the Deep Cavern Bat. Not and be able to be up against the other decks. I do think that we have some staying power. Goes for Farewell. Gets rid of the graveyards. Interesting. Alright, so we have to rebuild again. They got rid of another board wipe. That means they didn't have removal. And we just drew another Terror of the Peaks. That's interesting. There is an issue here. Once we saddle Terror of the Peaks, if they have a Wandering Emperor, they can exile the one that's tapped down for being saddled. Saddle is something you have to do at sorcery speed, which is a bit of an issue. Yeah, so it has to be done at sorcery speed.
Guards, to me.
And we still haven't seen any counter spells. or the other Wandering Emperor. So Charming Scoundrel, tons of reaction. Okay. I want the treasure token here just to try to get what I need. Also, I can do a damage to Wandering Emperor to keep it off of being able to do much there. Treasure token.
You should be scared.
It's definitely Wandering Emperor, right? But then, like, what do? I need to get some sort of reaction off of them. I can hope for Wandering Emperor, like, that they flash it in after this point. And so it's just Brotherhood's end. I'm trying to see if there's any way I can get the Reckless Anchorage as well. I don't see it. So I think we just go for it now. I messed up because I should have gone for Charming Scoundrel after I did this. So like, I misplayed that. I was trying to see if there's anything else I could do, but this way we get the Planeswalker, we get all of the small creatures. Could have held the Charming Scoundrel. I'm expecting them to kill. Okay, totally fine with that. Getting rid of any counter spells here is fantastic. And us being tapped down, I'm hoping that means that they are going to go for other stuff here. Still have Wandering Emperor chance though. No attacks. That's turn. And so I'm just basically hoping that they don't quite get the sequencing right here. The cool thing with Calamity is I can tap down the Scoundrel and the Terror of the Peaks on the same turn, so I can maybe just get a copy of both. I can get the card draw effect with this. Maybe get the Wicked roll onto Calamity. So there's a chance here that we at least do some fun stuff. I'll take the 5. Please don't have removal. Yeah, swing in. No blocks. And we just have to hope that they have 3 spells that do nothing. We're gonna go for the win. Definitely gonna go for it here. Calamity, counterspell. Let's just get it over with. And if they have the Wandering Emperor after that, I don't know what we do. I will try to kill this Wandering Emperor. Draw 2 cards. Holding up 3 mana. So they still have... It's not Wandering Emperor mana, which is a big deal. So I think I kill Wandering Emperor here. This. They can't block. I can chump here. And then Irencrag Brothers' End, hold up, go for the throat for maybe a Sphinx next turn. And then just kind of hope and pray that we can come out on top after a bit. This is a really bad matchup.
See you later.
I think that we are playing in a way that it's like we're at least giving ourselves a shot right now. I did give them enough information that they know what's going on. I just didn't have anything else that was enticing enough to draw out the counter spells. And so that was a little bit awkward there. I also don't have the extra mana now to play another one if we top deck it. All right, so make sure we do this right. We want to get rid of artifacts here with this. Destroy artifacts. See if we can get rid of the token. The 5/5. If they have counterspell, it's annoying. We can't really race. Memorialize 3. Yeah, I didn't want this out because then of course it would die as well. I could trade off, but no, I'm just gonna hold off and try to see if I can slam again and win. I'll hold out for maybe 1 or 2 more turns, but this is basically over. If they want to counterspell again, get a normalize while we don't have mana. But like right now, our deck is so expensive. They don't know this. Okay, gets the card draw, gets a counterspell out. I mean, I'm not going to block, so we're going to swing in. Could hold off the 2/2, but it's fine. We don't have the mana for the Calamity anyway, so this is a little bit awkward. Bloodletter of Aclazotz, though, is a big amount of damage. So when it lands, I get to do 4 damage. When I attack in, I get to do 10. And so it's almost there to be able to win with just a Bloodletter off the top. Down to 5. Dude, I am kind of calling these draws really well today. This gets countered, most likely. Or something dies to a march. We haven't seen any marches. We haven't seen any get lost. Yeah, this gets to do 4 damage to their face. I could also just kill the 2/2. Doesn't do a whole lot for me. Yeah, there's... Alright, we're out of here. Good game. We're done. Yeah, that's a bad matchup. I think there's a way that we can do okay, but we just don't ramp fast enough. We don't interact with them well enough. And we don't like have consistency of draws against... Like, we're the perfect matchup for them. So, yeah, that's okay. Alright, up against this guy... Kiitirio, something like that. Way up. Alright. And up against a red deck. Rush of Dread can at least kill some creatures if they start flooding the board here. Alright, Boros. It's kind of what I was... Honestly, kind of what I was hoping for here. Wait, no, this is Slick Shot? Interesting. How much does it take to discard the half their cards rounded up? Honestly, well, wait, I have the combo next turn. I just realized I have Rush of Dread and the mana. All right, we go for combo. Slick Shot. Go for it. How much can you do? If they have removal, I'm going to be pretty angry here. What are they bringing in with white? It's got to be protection. It could be removal as well. I could see them holding like a Get Lost or something. Yeah, no blocks. Go for it. Do as much as you want. I don't think it'll be 19. I think by itself, they could probably bring in a card for like Double Strike or something, which would be insane. All right, so yeah, we got the combo. It's not the Calamity one. The one copy is enough to make it happen, which is... All right. What more could you need? I did not expect to play this combo in this deck, but you know what? I'm happy with it. And the one of, I think, is the right amount for Bloodletter here. So, all right. Oh, they got Indestructible and Hexproof. That's perfect. I'm so proud of you. All right. Honestly, Irencrag adds, it changes it so much. Being able to play that on turn, that was a turn 4 combo kill. Because with Irencrag, turn 3, and then the rush on turn 4, which is pretty insane. And then this was going to be turn 5 if I had played this out instead, of course. I don't know if we would have survived to turn 5 with how many cards they had in hand, but that was fun. Up against Beto, and we'll keep this. I just realized I'm a little bit far from my mic. Sorry about that. Let's get the Surveil. We're looking for another land or a Brotherhood's End. Can we really throw that to the graveyard? We'll keep it. I don't know what we're up against. It could be completely dead. Oh, look at that. It's completely dead. Dang it. Should have gone graveyard with that. Alright, this really needs to stick and get us a card draw. Please. Don't die. Didn't go for Throat right away. That's inspiring. Oh, what's the other one? The other one's inspiring something. All right, I'm hoping for land here, but honestly, Urabrask Forge against this matchup's probably gonna be amazing. What does this do? So they get to keep coming back to their hand. Each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life, draw a card whenever commit a crime. Okay, so no crimes at the moment. Scoundrel for the card draw. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get this out there. I could go aggro. No, we came to do a thing. We're gonna do the thing. You know what? Actually, just in case. No, I don't want them to know the combo, and I'd rather have multiples so that it can maybe happen. Honestly, just double Bloodletter here on the... Like, if we get to these Bloodletters, that'd be sweet. So maybe going for the treasure was better there. Just to make sure the Bloodletter happened next turn. With Urabrask's Forge. Like, honestly, that's why I've been debating if I want more of this. Because, like, Urabrask's Forge with Bloodletters and Terror of the Peaks are both... Like, it's just so good. Because you just start getting in for damage. And it's just... You don't care if it gets in, necessarily. This is a decent blocker. It's fun stuff. No land still. What's going on? I should be able to draw this time, right? Dude, it's getting a little bit ridiculous. Alright. I don't know how they answer a Forge. Virtue's coming soonish, which we didn't put much in the graveyard because we haven't played Magic yet. They got 3 of these. I don't think this is a card you want 3 of. Like, honestly, I think this is an okay card, but I think it's a 1 of. Like, yeah, they get all these back to their hand, but like, great. That's cool. This is good for throat killing this Preacher. I mean, now we don't get card draw, which is annoying. But I think we win without if we get a land off the top. It has to be untapped. Which we have a few tap lands. Dude. You guys are getting to see all that this deck can do, which is kind of awesome. I'm liking this deck. It's working well. I think the biggest issue with the deck is simply that Calamity is 6 mana. And I feel like we have to run 4 of them. And like, honestly, like, I don't like having 2 of these, but we have so much discard and draw, whatever, that I think this one works. It just needs to be fine-tuned maybe a little bit more. It's good though. The 24 lands was the biggest issue we found there. We are up against Kitsune, and I'll keep this. Man, I'm really liking the look of these hands. This might be like my new go-to deck, honestly. Like, yeah, it does poorly against mono red. Well, I've actually won 2 out of 3 games against mono red so far. This is number 4, and we'll see how it goes. But if I'm 50% against this, I'm not gonna be that angry. Okay, we'll kill this now. I could have waited to see if it went after this and kind of like held back for another turn or so, but I think it's okay. Haunted Ridge, we want the Preacher out. Pass the turn. I'd love to be able to start making some vampires. Thundering Raiju, we will okay, they don't go for the trade, which is kind of good for us. Surveil. I'm debating how good the Forge is. Bloodletter of Aclazotz. It is a combo piece. It is not a land. Interesting one. We'll keep it. It's one of the pieces we have here. Like, it does get us, let us deal damage. So we kill this. We get a hold up cut down for something else, which is decent. I'm a little bit worried that they have another one on the next turn, but having a lifelinker, like, we're definitely going to start getting our lifelinkers out in the battlefield. That's what we need. Which is 5. Again, the Bloodletter with a Forge is kind of interesting. It gives us a way that we can kind of start doing stuff. We will kill this right away. They're holding back. Go in after this. You know, if they're going after this, I'm not as worried. What does this become? A 4/4? If non-source would deal damage, just 2 instead. Okay, we'll let it go through this time. Big score as well. We'll get the blocker there. We'll swing in. Because we have the flyer, I'm pretty happy with this. If they swing in, then I'm expecting Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike anyway. I'm surprised they didn't swing in first. Just going all out, killing that thing. Kill that dang thing right there. All right, down to 14. Man, with the Brotherhood's End as well. I think now I go for Forge and hold up Cut Down. I really want to go for this big score and get my combo pieces, but like I ain't got them. I'm winning the race at the moment. And honestly, with the Forge getting out earlier, there is a chance I keep winning with the Cut Down and Brotherhood's End. Like, I'm doing okay for myself. I want them to go after this thing over here. Go for it. Please do. Okay, how many is this? If I attack with 3 or more creatures. I could also just go for Brotherhood's End. It does get rid of my lifelinker. I don't want to do that yet. And I can hold up, go for the Throat next turn as well. Let's just kill one. I want to demoralize on them. I'm kind of hoping that they scoop early. Mono Red tends to do that, and so let's hope they do. Swing in. We'll hold up big score. Getting rid of the Brotherhood's End feels weird. But yeah. All right. We are 4 for 5 against... Oh, no, sorry. 3 and 1. I've won 3, lost 1 against Mono Red. Not bad. All right, guys. This deck actually worked really well. I was very impressed with it. And I think that that's kind of what the deck is supposed to be, is it just kind of works in the early game. I think I'm really impressed by Charming Scoundrel mixed with Preacher of the Schism. I haven't seen those played too much together in the same deck. Anytime that I've seen that, I'd be like, oh, that's a little bit weird. But honestly, I like being able to have like kind of filtering. This is a really good kind of combo early game stuff with any kind of removal. Brotherhood and felt good with Preacher of the Schism. Like, I'm honestly impressed by this deck right now. Winning so many times against Mono Red, and they didn't have like bad draws necessarily. Like, I won one time because they didn't top deck well at the end, but like they had a good early game, you know, and I just got the Brotherhood's End at the right time. Another one had this like showed off or whatever, and I just was able to combo off on turn 4. And I think I had the Brotherhood End if I needed to, or had removal. Like, so it's like I had other options to be able to remove stuff. So honestly, the big question is if Rush of Dread should be a 1 of, or should it be like a 2 of? I think I would drop 1 Tear the Peaks and go 2 of here, because it does add some other form of removal. So like you can get rid of a few creatures. If you have Preacher of the Schism out, and Rush of Dread is actually pretty good, where you can, you know, get rid of half of their creatures and still have a Death Toucher on the board. Pretty decent, actually. And so I think that that's maybe the only thing I would change is go down 1 Tear the Peaks and go here, because I didn't feel like I needed to. I just need 1 of these. I didn't feel like having multiple Tear the Peaks was really, really helpful for me at any point. I also didn't see it as much. I saw a lot of Bloodletter of Aclazotz. Anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this deck. I think it's powerful. I think it's good. I was honestly very surprised by how well it did here. So hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.